everybody, welcome back to the TMP Hustle, baby. I am your girl Teresa, and today, y'all, we will be breaking down numbers for renting a box truck. So let's ask yourself, after this video, will you still want to rent a box truck? Stay tuned.
Keep it in your pocket for safekeeping. Don't ever let nobody be the reason you throw it out. You stop caring about it. Don't let your head get in the way. Can't be defined by your mistakes. You know you try really hard, but sometimes you fall. Yeah, sometimes you fall.
Everybody, let's get into it. The number one question we have for ourselves in the trucking industry is, should we rent a box truck or should we finance a box truck? So stay to the end of this video because we will be breaking down numbers of what it costs to rent a box truck. But in the meantime, D-Pat and I would love to thank our subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support. For those of you who are watching our videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell. Let's get into it, baby. So, I took some notes, so if you see me looking down, don't worry, okay? But we will be breaking down numbers at the end of this video, so please watch to the end. Number one, when renting a box truck, rental agencies like Penske, Budget, Enterprise, they charge you a cent per mile. They also charge you a weekly rate. What I will be doing is providing you numbers at the highest level possible. These numbers could fluctuate, but what we want to do is provide realistic numbers. We rented our box truck through Penske. They charged us, initially they were going to charge us 15 cents per mile, but they ended up charging us 17 cents. They're telling us we charge 35 cents per mile. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down numbers at 35 cents per mile. For renting a box truck through Penske, we paid $808.25. However, we told them we were going to drive 1,500 miles per week. In a box truck, if you drive 7 days a week, 7 days a week, you're going to be driving approximately 4,000 to 4,200 miles per week. So they charged us $808.25 based on 1,500 miles. Sometimes we went over that, majority of the times we went over that. So what they did, they charged us an additional weekly rate for any additional miles. The maximum number of miles that they charged us per week was approximately $321. It did fluctuate between $100, $97, $200, but the maximum was about $321, okay? The next thing is Penske billed us for tolls. Just remember, you are not in your truck. You are in Penske's truck. So when you go through the tolls and you're not paying, Penske is billed for those tolls. So they're going to bill you and they're going to charge you. They're also going to charge you an invoice fee as well. I would say when you're out on the road, if you can at all possible, use cash to pay for those tolls. If not, you're going to get billed. Our highest toll bill with them was about $200, okay? The next thing we have is insurance, okay? The cost for insurance is ridiculously high in this trucking industry. You're renting a box truck or you're financing a box truck or cargo vans. Nevertheless, you have to insure these vehicles. Whether you get the insurance through your rental agency or you are getting your insurance through your own insurance company like Progressive, for example, we paid for our company $1,900 to rent a box truck. Now, just keep in mind, it's going to cost you, for your business, anywhere between $1,200 to, let's just say, $2,000. We paid $1,900. Why? Insurance is going to fluctuate, but it's also based on several different factors. Those factors would be your MVR, the number of drivers you have, your address, the state you live in, your coverages, your deductible, the age of your vehicle, your business address, the value of your vehicle. If for any reason your vehicle were to be a total loss, they're taking that into consideration as well. Now, that's just to name a few. So your insurance is not going to be the same as mine, and my insurance will not be the same as yours. So oftentimes we see people trying to compare rates to their friends or their colleagues, or just people in general that we see in these Facebook groups or anywhere. Don't compare your rates to anybody, because we had drivers in our vehicles, and when we put drivers in our vehicles, that increased our rates. If my MVR, if I have a bad record, that's going to increase my rate, which we don't, but I'm just saying that will increase your rate. The value of my vehicle is not the same as yours. When renting a box truck, you may get different coverages. According to FMCSA, we have to have the minimum of $750,000 in liability coverage. Now, some of us may have $1 million. Some of us may have 750. It doesn't matter what coverages I have. Everything about my rates will be dictated by everything that I have going on with my business, my driving rate, the value of my vehicle. If you're financing a box truck, and let's say the box truck is a 2015, okay, the year Freightliner 2015 box truck, but then you are renting a box truck that's a 2022, the insurance is going to be more expensive. And that's what happened with us. So oftentimes, if you have a $1,200 rate or a $1,900 rate or a $2,000 rate, just remember, it's going to be based on a number of different factors, based on your situation, based on your business. However, also keep in mind that you can actually get insurance through the rental agency. So keep that in mind. Get insurance that is cost effective for your business. You don't want to pay high premiums. It may be out of control what these insurance premiums are, but all I know is we have to have it. That is going to be one of the most expensive expenses in your business when renting a box truck, okay? Moving on to fuel. Like I said, we're driving 4,200 miles approximately a week. Let's kind of get technical here. According to the FMCSA, you can drive 11 hours per day. That would be 660 miles per day. You times that by, let's say, 6 days. You don't want to multiply that by 7 days, because then that will put you at 77 hours. And as you know, according to the FMCSA, you can only drive between 60 to 70 consecutive hours. So let's times 660 miles times 6 days, which is 66 hours of drive time. You are 4 hours short before you need to start your reset. So if you have 660 miles times 6 days, we have roughly around 3,960 miles per week. You have 4 more hours that you can drive. Let's just do a rough estimate of 4,200 miles that you can drive in 1 week. So you're driving all week. Depending on your tank, depending on how big your tank is, depending on the number of tanks you have, including DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, you will have to pay approximately $1,000, give or take, in fuel. With the increasing and the inflation of these gas prices, I guarantee you will now be at 1,000 or more. Now, if you're using gas apps like Mudflap, you may be saving some cents per mile. However, it's important to know that gas will be between $700 to $1,000, if not more, especially in these times. Next, we have dispatching services. You have a dispatcher that you've hired. You're driving 4,200 miles per week. Let's say you're making anywhere between $5,000 to $7,000 per week. We're gonna base these numbers on $6,000 because that's probably the amount that drivers are making, give or take, depending on how good your dispatcher is. So let's say you have a really good dispatcher. The dispatcher gets you $6,000 per week. So the dispatcher charges you 10%. You're gonna be paying that dispatcher $600 per week, okay? If the dispatcher charges you 8%, that's gonna be roughly around $552 per week. Now, as you're dropping these loads off, you're gonna need a factoring company to start paying you within 24 to 48 hours so you can pay your expenses weekly. Let's say that you go with OTR, Apex, Triumph, Engaged Financial. Let's say they're charging you 3% to pay you within 24 to 48 hours. So let's say you're making $6,000 per week. Your factoring company charges you 3%. Now you pay $180 to your factoring company to get paid within 24 to 48 hours. Last but not least, you have an expense for your ELD, your electronic logging device. This, as we all know, is mandatory by the FMCSA and also through DOT. This is an expense that helps you clock and log your hours of service while you are driving. Your ELD is extremely important because it helps log your hours and keeps track of the number of hours you drive per day, per week, per month. And it really keeps you compliant with the DOT regulations. We pay $100 for a 3-year contract, but we've heard that that's really too much. So if you can find another company that's relatively cheaper, by all means, please go with that company. Save yourself money, okay? That's gonna be important. With that being said, everyone, let's go ahead and break down these numbers. So, as we said, the weekly rental charge for your box truck, we're gonna say that's $1,000 per week. You times that by 4 weeks, we have $4,000. Next, we have your cents per mile. Remember, we were charged 17 cents, but Penske technically charges 35 cents per mile. So the maximum number that we paid was $321 per week. However, you times that by 4, that's $1,284 per month. Now, we have the tolls. Remember, we were charged a maximum of $200 for tolls per month, okay? And if they charge an invoice fee, whatever that invoice fee is, maybe no more than $20. Your insurance, we're gonna stick with $1,900 because that's what we paid. Now, your insurance could be a little bit more, give or take, but per month, it's gonna be $1,900. Your fuel, $1,000 per week, including death, times 4 weeks, that's $4,000. Your dispatching services, your dispatcher is giving you approximately $6,000 every week. give or take, you're paying your dispatcher $600 per week. Times that by 4 weeks, we are at $2,400 for paying your dispatcher for the entire month. Now you have your factoring company. So you pay them $180 per week. You times that by 4, that's $720 per month. Your ELD, $100, okay, per month. Add all of those numbers together. We are at $14,604 in expenses. But keep in mind, your dispatcher got you $6,000 per week. So it's going to be imperative to get a very good dispatcher to dispatch you so you can make between $5,000 to $7,000 consecutively a week. So you take $24,000 minus $14,604 and your net profit is $9,396. I hope that helped you all in determining whether or not you will rent a box truck in 2022. This is your girl Teresa with the TMP Hustle, baby. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching.